The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Kathleen Taylor with the Nevada Women's Business Center. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to our webinar. And thank you for your support in your entrepreneur development and seeking help with us as a resource. Today, I'm really pleased to have someone that I really admire as a featured guest speaker today. And she is a phenomenal person in her own right. Her name is Ms. Barbara Oliver. She is the owner of Enterprise Publishing, and also Enterprise Publishing also provides us with a bi-monthly publication of MBE magazine, the Minority Business Entrepreneur magazine, which is just phenomenal within itself. And basically, I'm going to have an overview of having Miss Oliver discuss with you and share with you some information about her company, her humble beginnings, how she came into being as an entrepreneur, and giving us an overview. And then we're in for a treat because now we're going to partake after this overview with this particular webinar. Miss Oliver is going to be featured quite a few times each month and sharing different aspects about her company, her resource partners, her collaborators, people that she collaborates with, and also some ways that you can maximize her services or her expertise as well. So with that being said, I would like to just take some time to introduce Miss Oliver by sharing with you some facts about her. So Barbara Oliver is the publisher of Minority Business Entrepreneur magazine and president of Minority and Women-Owned Enterprise Publishing, Inc., which she purchased MBE in 2012. MBE magazine is an award-winning 25-year-old national trade publication for and about minority and women business owners. In her current position, Barbara oversees the day-to-day operations, sales, marketing, and public relations for the magazine. Also, in addition to her full-time responsibilities with the magazine, Barbara represents the publication as an active supporter of the Nevada Minority Supplier Development Council and serves on various committees of the Women's Business Enterprise Council West and the Women's Business Enterprise National Council and the Airport Minority Advisory Council. She has a pedigree of academic experience from Loyola Marymount University with a bachelor's in art degree in English and also her MBA as well in business administration. And she hails from the island of Jamaica in the West Indies, and she now resides in Henderson with her husband and two children, and her hobbies are traveling, singing, and reading. And it's such a pleasure to have a mentor of mine, someone that I really admire in the community, Miss Barbara Oliver, with us today. So, hi, how are you today, Barbara? Thank you for joining us over the telephone. Um, well, actually speaking and presenting, and we're really looking forward to hearing about your story. So with that being said, I will go ahead and I'll turn it over to you, and I'm sure our audience will be just delighted to hear an overview of your company.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Kathleen, and welcome everyone. Um, Probably quite a few people know who I am, and I need to update that bio, Kathleen, because I have changed in the last, what is it, 4 years. A lot of different things have happened, so I'll make sure I update that for you next time we do this. But thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for this partnership that we now share. I am really looking forward to sharing our expertise through our our other presenters in the magazine itself. So just to get started, let's just do a quick overview of who the company is and what it is that we do. And I'll tell you a little bit about some of the things that we have coming up that you all can participate in and potentially sponsor if you care to, or do anything along those lines. Certainly open. My goal here is to just get you to understand who we are and what it is that we're doing. And then we'll talk a little bit about where we go from here, especially with regard to the webinars, which is my prime reason for sharing what it is that we're doing going forward.
Sure.
So let's, if everyone can see my screen here.
Yes.
We'll just go over basically who we are. So as you can see, Enterprise Publishing, we're a media services company, and we serve the supplier diversity community around the US and Canada. We also reach into places like the UK, Australia. We have readers from India, as well as South Africa, and a couple of other countries in Africa as well. Believe it or not, one or two folks from China chime in every once in a while. So we're wide-reaching, and we talk about a lot of different things. So it resonates with many people across the country and across the world. Our mission, of course, is to inform, educate, and inspire. And we do this through three vehicles where we can share the story and promote the stories of our audience, as well as our stakeholders. So as you can see, we have some recognition program over here. We have our magazine represented here, and of course we do videos, and so we'll go into it a little bit. Okay, we're supposed to be moving down. We're not moving. Let's try this. Not sure why it's not moving along. Ah, there we go.
Okay.
Click in my place. So of course, let's start with our recognition programs. We have two recognition programs that we do per year. One called WBEs Who Rock, and the other MBEs Who Rock. And of course, WBEs Who Rock, it recognizes the women in business. They have their own businesses, but they also give back to their communities. They do phenomenal jobs in their local areas on a national scale in case of some, and international as well. And we recognize these WBEs not because of how big their contributions are in terms of money, or how large their entities themselves are, but really it's more about their grassroots efforts. It's more about what they're doing in their communities and with their businesses, and how you're doing business with them supports the communities that they live in. We do a nomination process, which you can go to our website, mbemag.com, and click on the banner that takes you to that nomination form, and you can nominate yourself or have someone nominate you. Send that in. Our deadline for this year is May 15th, so I hope you will take advantage of that. Once again, that's mbemag.com. Just click on the banner for WBEs Who Rock and nominate yourself, or nominate someone you know is deserving. We produce a program, a reception program at the WeBank. That would be the Women's Business Enterprise National Council Annual Conference. This year it'll be in Detroit in June. So at that reception, we will present our selections. We nominate we take from the nominations up to 10 individuals, along with, of course, the cover features that we've selected ourselves. and we present them to an audience of 200 or more in the reception. But we also present them during the trade show that follows the next day. We do a write-up about them in the issue that follows, and really give them some exposure beyond what they would have gotten for, maybe even being a sponsor of a big program, which is far more expensive, and sometimes not as much satisfying as knowing that you're getting that recognition for what you're doing in your local community. We also do the same thing for MBEs, minority businesses, and those minority businesses can be male or female. In the WBEs who rock, they can be female regardless of ethnicity. But in the case of MBEs, these are ethnic minority businesses, and they can be male or female. We do the same thing, of course, during the NMSDC conference, National Minority Supplier Development Council's conference, every year in October. This year, we'll be in Austin, Texas. Okay. So you can do the same thing, even if you were to click on that same link for WBEs Who Rock. The nomination form is the same. So you can certainly take advantage of that and nominate now. That deadline is not until September 1st, I believe. But do it now, do it early, and get it out of the way once you have that in your head. We also have media that we do. So we do a lot of videos on site when we get to the conference. So those programmings that we talked about just now are recognition programs. We usually video those programs. We do photography and all of that. If you go to our website at mbemag.com and you click on the events tab, the drop down, you'll see our many events that the magazine itself is distributed at, and some of the events that we go to. But you'll also see under that tab, the MBEs Who Rock and WBEs Who Rock. And if you click on that, you'll be able to see some of the videos that we produced as part of those programs. But you can also go to our YouTube channel, which is MBE Mag, youtube.com/MBE Mag. And you'll note that we've done a lot of individual interviews at our booth. We've gone to other folks' booth at these conferences and done videos with them. We've done some individuals, like some informational videos on behalf of WBEs and MBEs as well, to help them showcase themselves on their websites and in other areas. So we also have podcasts where we get a chance to have discussions with others, with many of the leaders of the organizations that we participate with, and also other MBEs that have interesting stories to tell. We might do that in a podcast format, and we are very excited and very entertained in the social media area. So if you go to our Twitter page, you'll see a lot of what's going on around the country. And who we're connected with there is certainly our people that you would be, I believe, very interested in being connected with as well. So certainly connect with us there. Our Facebook page also, and our LinkedIn page. Now you can go to our LinkedIn page and search for MBE Magazine's page, or you can search for MBE Magazine's actual group, where you can speak to our members, the members of our group that are signed into that. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn all the time. You might have seen some of my posts from LinkedIn. You've seen my posts from Twitter and others. So going back to the webinars, this is where we start. We're starting right here with webinars this year. And I'm once again really, really grateful to the Nevada Women's Business Center for for allowing us to partner with them on presenting various webinars to you and others. So of course, our main event, so to speak, within our company is MBE Magazine itself. We produce this magazine quarterly. We changed over from quarterly a couple of years, from bi-monthly a couple of years ago, and I need to update my information on that. But of course, we featured WBEs and MBEs on our covers 4 times a year. We also have digital versions of the magazine, which you can reach from our website, mbemag.com. There's a lot you can do from our website. So you'll probably hear me talk about mbemag.com a lot. But we have the magazine online in a digital format, in a mobile format that you can read and download if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, you can still see parts of the magazine, just not the most interesting parts. So consider subscribing to the magazine. You can also subscribe from our website. This is our website, just basically a screenshot that we did when we did this presentation. As you can see, we had a MBE. It was about the time we were doing the MBEs, hoorah. There are lots of opportunities for doing advertising. Whoops, I went places I wasn't supposed to. Let's try this again. There we go. Oh, I've been touching the computer. I shouldn't. There we go. All right. So as you can see, there's lots of information on our website if you care to go there and browse. I would recommend it highly. We have many clients that support our publication and our business, and among them are some pretty heavy hitters. We have Wells Fargo, Office Depot has been a perennial client. Pacific Gas and Electric, Northrop Grumman, Walmart, CVS Health, all these companies support us with advertising. In some cases, they've supported us by purchasing videos that they can showcase on their sites, on their YouTube channels, and so forth. And of course, I don't do this by myself. I couldn't, in no way, shape, or form, do this by myself. So I have a very capable editor in Tanya Isley, and she keeps our content clean and efficient, and she's a super nice person. I hope you get a chance to meet her. She frequently attends the NMSDC National Conference in October. Hopefully she'll be there again this year. Our advertising sales manager, I need to update this because I changed his title up a little bit, but Enrico Sucteo is our advertising sales manager. He's the guy you go to when you want to place advertising in the magazine. We've added one other advertising person, and I will introduce him. His name is Lionel Dickey, and Lionel just joined us this year. He's taking a different tack for sales for us, and it's more around selling your product and services through or marketing your product and services through us to not only the major corporations but other small businesses like yourselves. So we'll get him introduced in another segment. And of course, our very capable photographer is Audrey Dempsey, who I don't know what our visuals would look like without her. She does our cover stories, photographs, and she does a phenomenal job. But she not only does that, she is also the owner of Dempsey Graphics, along with her husband Bob, whose photo you see on that first page. And they lay out the magazine for us. They do the graphic work for us, and they do a phenomenal job. As always, as you can see, we walk the talk. We're MBEs ourselves, we're WBEs ourselves, and I do business with MBEs and WBEs as much as possible. Okay, So my question to you is, how will you inform, educate, and inspire? Will you support us through recognition programs, through sponsorships, or being a part of the program itself? Will you do some advertising, or will you participate by doing audio, videos, and maybe participating in some way on these webinars that we will be doing down the pipe for the next year? So let's talk about the webinars. I'm going to go back to the beginning. And so I'm going to show you that because you can't see my face right now. But we're talking about doing these webinars, not only me talking. You don't want to hear me. You don't want to, well, maybe you want to hear from me every once in a while. But for the most part, I think you want to hear from the experts that we have relied on over the last 30 years to speak to the topics that are of interest to you. Now, about a year ago, I did a survey of our readers and asking them what they would like to know about when we did start to do webinars. And many responded and gave us some answers to those questions. But I want to put that question out there again and ask you to let us know what you would like us to talk about in these webinars. In the meantime, we're going to jump off from that point, and we'll be talking about things like how to set your company up to sell, how to make your website a brand that sells your product, that sells you. We'll be talking about social media and how to make it more effective for yourself. Lots of, we might even be talking about, I'm working on something right now, talk about how to effectively utilize trade show formats to get business, to get contracts, to participate in that way. So if this is something that you want to get more from us about, we have many experts. We talk about exporting. We talk about how to prepare to export. We've talked about sustainability in our magazine. We've talked to many corporations about some of the innovative things that they're doing, some of the advocacy groups about some of the innovative advocacy outreach that they have taken. All of those people can be part of our webinar presentations, and we are going to be talking to many of them to participate in that way. So I certainly hope that this brief overview has been very useful to you. And if you have questions, you can certainly reach out to me. My email is bolliver@mbemag.com. You can see it off to the side here. Actually, my email's not there, but that's all right. You can also reach out to Tanya if you have a story idea. You can send that to her. She's at editor@mbemag.com. And if you're interested in any sales or sorry, that went right out of my head. If you're interested in sales or sponsorships, you can reach out to myself or Enrico at advertising@mbemag.com. So I encourage you to send us your questions, send us your ideas. I will start putting some information out there. You'll hear from us on a regular basis now that we've got this partnership up and running with the Nevada Women's Business Center. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. We also have a blog, so check that out as well. MBE, I think it's blog.mbemag.com. But don't necessarily quote me on it. I'm not looking at it right now. But if you go to our website, you'll find all of these connection points. And so if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them. I believe.
Yes, thank you.
do that, Kathleen?
Oh yes, thank you so much, Barbara, for the overview of your company and also what's to come. We're really excited about that. And with that being said, we looking at your mission and our mission, it definitely aligns in that you're looking at informing, educating, and inspiring the community in various aspects of entrepreneurship, of community development, of 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 working together in unity so that everyone can thrive and mutually benefit and those efforts are mutually beneficial across the board. So we're really excited to partner with you in this regard, in that your company, in addition to your resource partners, will provide on a regular basis, a few times a month, various webinars that includes different aspects of entrepreneur development, of your own experience in business, or like you said, other topics that are relevant for anyone in business. So we're really excited about that. And with that being said, we would appreciate anyone in the audience, if you'd like to pose a question or a comment, could you please use your question box or your question feature on your control panel within the GoToWebinar platform. We would be more than happy to answer you. And again, this is Ms. Barbara Oliver. She is the owner of Enterprise Publishing Inc., which publishes Minority Business Entrepreneur MBE magazine. She has a plethora of experience, and we really are excited about collaborating with you to provide a series of webinars over on a monthly basis. So I'll just take a look and see if there are any questions from our audience, and if not, that's quite all right, because I will definitely provide the recording for this webinar to the link for people to access it within our client database, and I'm pretty sure that people will find it valuable in watching it at their leisure. So with that being said, Ms. Oliver, do you have any closing remarks regarding an overview of your company and what's to come in the next week or so?
Well, not necessarily in the next week or so. It's going to be a very busy rest of the month. But I'm encouraging everyone that listens in that if you have ideas on what it is that you would like to hear from us, we would be happy to find an expert that can sit down and speak to that subject matter, whether it be on the in the magazine or on this webinar. So do send an email to me, boliver@mbemag.com, with any questions, with any comments, and I'll be happy to. I always respond to people. I never ignore a message. So if you don't get an answer from me within, say, 48 hours, it might be a good idea to touch with me again. But in the meantime, do send those questions in, do send those comments and those ideas in. We take them very seriously, and we want to make sure that we're addressing the issues that you find important.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And for those of you that tuned in, we really appreciate your time. If you could please be so kind and complete the survey that's going to be emailed to you after the webinar. We'd really appreciate your feedback. And with that, if you have any questions about entrepreneur development, training, or counseling, please contact the Nevada Women's Business Center. My contact information is on screen. And again, I really appreciate your partnership, Ms. Oliver. I'm so excited about launching this series of webinars that's really rich in content and that will definitely inform, educate, and inspire the community. So again, thank you so much for being our featured guest today on behalf of the Nevada Women's Business Center.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, we will see you again. Take care. Bye. Thanks again, Miss Oliver.
Thank you. Bye-bye.